It's time. What it do, gaming family? What's going on with y'all? Your boys are back at it once again. I am the Husky Hokage.
Hey, boss. I love you,
man. The man is always with me. My man, 100 Grand, my brother from another that can't be replaced by no other. The notorious DUB, aka the Dub, ladies and gentlemen.
Please say the DUB.
This nigga here.
And we are Victory Road, a gaming podcast presented to you by the Blurred Syndicate. And we got family with us today. Y'all know them. Y'all done seen them. They y'all cousins. First, let's give it up for
your mama get them ass whoopers too. Exactly. Your mama get them ass whoopers too. Both of y'all getting it.
Let's give it up for the sensei of the syndicate, man. What's going on, Wyatt?
Man, just making it through the day. That's about it, man. Happy to be here. Glad to see y'all boys again, and ready to talk some gaming shit, bro.
Absolutely.
Hey, hold on.
Spoiler
alert, major spoilers. We telling you right now. Fuck the dumb shit. We letting you know right now. Spoilers.
There you go. We gotta get a button for that. Anyway, and last but certainly not least, let's give it up for the founder of the 2020 Network LLC. Please say the LLC. Y'all give it from my boy, sir. What's going on, baby?
What's up, y'all?
Sir.
Y'all know I'm glad to be here. I live across the street. I didn't even knock. I just opened the door, walked in, and sat down.
Bro, man, from the fifth floor.
Sure to God.
There it is. So we are doing a spoiler-filled episode review of Clair Obscur's Expedition 33. All of us have played it. All of us have beat it. And we here to talk about it. Tell you how we feel about it, our trauma, our thoughts, our experience.
Let me tell you, this game of all games. They called me and they said, hey, this is a good game. I told them, like, yeah, it's a very, very good game. A game beyond all games. Beyond all games.
All right, don't. So let's go ahead and get started, man. Let's just dive right in. Let's start with everybody's thoughts of the game, man. I know everybody's got their kind of their experience.
R.I.P. Gustav.
I know it's
first and foremost. R.I.P. Gustav. I thought he was a born ass man. I thought he was born ass white man. Not gonna lie.
Really?
I thought he was born. When we first started playing, I thought he was born as hell. You know me. I like my guys with a little edge on them, solid snakish. You know what I'm saying? Like type of motherfucker you'll go rob a bank with, go pick some bitches up with. Gustav, I will go read a book with this motherfucker. Like we go read a book, probably talk some stocks. Type of person that probably need to be in your circle, but kind of a square. So you just hit him up on occasion because he's good people. But boy, he proved me wrong, man. Like I said, Gustav fucked the city up with that one. Big Goose fucked the city up with that one. You know what I'm saying? He fucked the city up with that one. I ain't gonna lie, I almost shed a tear when I realized what the fuck was going on. Because like I said, literally, I was just thinking, we need another game that pulls the okie doke and switches the main protagonist midway through the story.
Hey, it reminded me of like how in Game of Thrones, the first season, how you thought Big Daddy Stark was gonna get out of it, and then after that, he was like off with his head. You was like, whoa, wait, nah, he's the main character. Y'all done put him up as the main character. What's happening? Same exact feels.
And I waited seasons for this nigga to be resurrected. I'm like, they gonna bring him back because I caught the Game of Thrones train at the end, so I binged a shit. It wasn't until I caught up with the series in season 7. I was like, oh, they're really not bringing this guy back. He's saying that. And even after the Red Wedding, I was like, oh, they're going to bring him back. And yeah, no.
What the Red Wedding, bro? After I saw what they did to Daddy Stark, I was like, oh, ain't nobody getting saved. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like, because he was a great character. I was like, oh, he was in Lord of the Rings. It's finally gonna be his chance to actually show his skills.
Show his skills, all right. How good he was dying.
Twice.
Yep. Hey. And Gustav did the same thing. Show how good he was dying.
Looking like James Patterson, but then it sounded like Charlie.
He looked exactly like James Patterson. I was just waiting on him to put on the Batman cowl. Like it was, it come like, bro.
I never thought about that.
He looked like James Patterson. Like it's like they modeled the character after him, and then of course you hear Daredevil. You know, look like James, look like Batman, sound like Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't gonna lie.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. I'm sorry, Robert Pattinson. I apologize.
I like
James Patterson.
I'm looking up James Patterson right now, and I'm like, James Patterson's an author, and I was like, I just don't see it, but I wasn't gonna do it to you.
I appreciate
it. I appreciate the correction. I'm referring to Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, because I was you see, I even lied for you. I was like, I ain't even know the James Patterson.
And that's what real members of the Blurson can do.
Yeah, I was gonna go with it. I was looking at James Patterson. I don't see no similarities there, but we gonna ride with it. But anyway.
Okay, sir, what your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick one, and then I want to talk deeply about Gustav because there was a lot there, and I if we're gonna really talk about the game, I'm gonna have to talk about something specifically with him and somebody else. So in the beginning of the game, you're in this not war torn, but this displaced city, right? And it looks like Paris. And as you're traversing the city, you're talking to Maëlle, who is like your adopted daughter, and she's discussing the gamage, right? And so I'm paying attention.
Also, reference for people to know, gamage is like the French term for erase.
Right.
Yeah, so I had to go look at that because I never figured out what the fuck a gamage was through the storyline. Little tidbit.
Right. So one thing I liked is as you're trying to understand who Gustav is in the beginning, they're talking about his relationship with Sophia immediately. Yeah. They recently had a breakup. Now, they don't explicitly say why they broke up. And this is where this game shines. If you go and talk to everybody, you will find out why they broke up, but not from the characters. They broke up because Sophia refused to have children with Gustav.
Yeah.
So that comes up when you speak to a young lady who is preparing her 2 kids to become orphans. And it's like the weirdest, darkest conversation amidst this festival, right? And so even as she's talking to other people, because at one point when they teach you can switch characters, you can switch to Sophia and talk to people and get a different perspective on things. So they're asking what happened between you and Gustav, and she was just like, it didn't work out. Like they would not bash each other at all. That's number one that I loved. When she got and talked to the kids, and then you talk to the painter who wants to paint the personification of love. So they're teaching you how to play the game and teach you how to dodge and parry. But at the same time, this painter is painting them, and he paints them. Although they were fighting, he painted them embracing each other and loving each other, which I thought was a dope analogy for relationships. I'm letting y'all niggas know I'm about to be real deep in this game. All right.
Hey, go for it. Go for it.
So the character, which I'm gonna come back to this with him and Sophia, the character Gustav, I felt so badly for because he went through this entire scenario oblivious to what was really going on. He died never knowing what he was, who he was in the grand scheme of shit. Because as much as he was important to us in the first chapter,
he wasn't important.
He wasn't. And now I want you to take that perspective, right? You see how he wasn't important. You never really think about him outside the grand scheme. Imagine if you were God, right? And you made all these characters and all these people, and they're not really real to you, right? Like, because you could just swipe your paintbrush and they appear, right? So you're not going to know everybody's name. You're not going to know everybody's backstory. It don't matter to you. So it made me think about faith. Like, for all those times I'm wondering if God hear me when I pray. What if God is genuinely like, yeah, I created humans, but they ain't real. Like, it made you feel insignificant as a character and as a person, which is why that hit so hard for me, because I'm like, damn, by the end of chapter 2, I'm like, well, fuck, Gustav just like ain't no he got a funeral per se, but nobody's gonna hear his story. Like,
because
on the grand scheme of what's going on, nobody's gonna be like, damn, but what about Gustav, you know?
And when you think about it, on a deeper level, everybody that would have kind of cared about him for the most part, a good chunk of those people got wiped away.
Gone.
Right before he when he got his ass popped.
Like, all it takes for everyone to forget about you is for the people around you to no longer exist.
Yep.
Like, bro,
or the people around you stop talking about you.
Or, well, the other thing was, now you see why not the actual dad, but the paint dad was just so like dismissive, because he was just like, this is more of a
It's
chore. Yeah, it's more of a chore for him, because he's cleaning up stuff that, it's like somebody's making a mess and you still have to clean up the mess. And you're like, stop making this fucking mess. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just leave this stuff to be clean. But he's always over there cleaning up, and he's like, all I know is this and my family. That's what makes it so troublesome for him. And that's why he didn't care about Gustav, because it was like, this is just another mess that I got to clean up off the floor.
That my wife made.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga. So both Gustavs, right? I mean, not Gustav, both Renoirs, right? Crazy complex character. Can we all agree that Renoir was not a villain?
No, he wasn't a villain.
So now he was not a villain. He was an antagonist, but he was not a villain. And the only reason I would give him that antagonist just because some of the stuff you go through with him, just kind of he was in the way a lot. Other than that, though, I understand where he was coming from.
So
I'm gonna disagree with y'all.
I disagree. Because you see your wife going into a heavy depression, and you have to be the bad guy to her.
Not even just that, your daughter.
Yeah, but your daughter is also going through trauma. Like, everybody's going through trauma together. And he has to be the one to be like, hey, let me come in here and get this stuff together. Let me get y'all back to where y'all need to be at. Because, like, all right, I'm going to say it. I feel like a lot of times, like, guys have to learn how to deal with the fact that, like, there's loss and things like that, but you still have to move on. You still have to go forward. Mm-hmm. You don't have time to be stuck in the trauma of what you have to deal with. Mm-hmm. So he's over here implementing that to make sure that his family stays together. The only person that really understands that from his perspective is the older sister. Clair. And she's running shit outside while he's having to try to take care of shit in-house. So he's not really the bad guy to me. He's like, listen, like, I'm hurting too, but goddamn, we got shit to do out here. Like, y'all over here playing house, y'all. It's just like if, say, for instance, somebody passed away and the only thing you wanted to do was play a video game for the rest of the time. You didn't want to leave the house. You didn't want to do anything to better yourself. You're just stuck playing the video game because you don't want to deal with the outside world and the repercussions of what happened. And he's over here like, listen, I understand. We all need to struggle. We all need to grieve, but my nigga, we still got bills out here and we still got shit to do. People are still dependent on us. Let's go.
I thought what was interesting about Renoir was, of course, so for those of you that don't know, the entire game is essentially kind of like the Matrix. You think that is actually the game, the idea of going into this fantasy world and exploring and taking out the painters, but in actuality, this greatly powerful family, the Desandre family, have the ability to paint and bring things to life. Their son has died, Verso, and the mom has entered one of his paintings, has turned his soul into a battery, getting him to perpetually paint this world while she lives in it and gets to create life and gets to see her son, her painted versions of her actual family.
Yeah.
And on the outside, she's actually dying. And so Renoir is trying to go into the world and bring his family back. But when the shit hit the fan, your party members realize they are not real. So what do you fight for at that point? Do you fight to remain in this world with not real people, which to me, I'm going to be honest, I took them as real. These people had lives. These people had children.
Experiences, pain.
Dog, Sael, Lord knows I stopped using her though, but Sael,
I never used her.
Oh my God, her story though, dog. She had a husband, she had a child. She was afraid of having a child, so she tried to kill herself, going out for a swim. She was unsuccessful killing herself, but she lost the baby. Not long after that, she lost her husband. So now it's just her. And she forgiven herself and moved on and trying to stop this from happening because she wants to live further. But she don't get to do that. She dies at the end. Like, bruh, this game, whew.
Spoiler alert, this nigga dies.
It's like no matter what choice you chose, shit ain't happen. And I'm interested to find out which ending y'all chose. Whose side?
I was just about to ask. That's I was gonna say before we move any further, I want to know what ending you chose.
I chose my else.
Interesting.
I chose my else because I kind of figured once all that shit started happening, I'm like, bro, enough shit has gone on. Like, you gotta give somebody some type of, I won't say the best path to a happy ending. As anti-hero and shit like that, how I like to play my games, I still like to see niggas happy at the end, though. I at least have some piece of happiness, you know what I'm saying? Even though that's not what Verso wanted.
Real quick. So I'm assuming the two niggas at the bottom chose Verso. If I'm correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So listen. I guess me and Doug on the same thing because I chose my L as well. So
I want to tell you why.
Go ahead.
So Mael, at the end of the day, she's not confronting her trauma. You're allowing her to run deeper into something. And don't get me wrong, like I feel for the painted characters and the experiences that they have to go to, but Versa to me was being the big brother to let her know that like you have to continue to move forward. You can't just continue to just live in the past and act like shit didn't happen like it was supposed to. So like, yes, it's trauma. Yes, bitch, you lost half your face. But in the same instance, you ain't got but one good eye, and the other side looks like you were in the microwave. But in the same instance, you got to deal with that. You know what I mean? You got to enjoy the fact, well, not enjoy, but you got to deal with the fact that you did some of this. You were responsible for the fire. And so therefore you just can't hide out in your brother's thing because you're eventually just doing the same thing that your mama did, and you're going to die in here. And how as a big brother am I going to let you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like that, then you're not really a big brother. Then all the stuff that he was built to make, all the stuff that he was done was for naught. He's choosing to be selfish. And I feel like a big brother wouldn't be selfish. He would choose sacrifice over just allowing himself to live.
Okay. That is a great fucking reason.
It is.
But that's a real world explanation. Nigga, we got powers, we got means, we got resources over here. So y'all telling me that if y'all didn't have the same like I said, resources at hand and some tragedy happened, y'all wouldn't go into that pain and be reliving life before that shit happened?
No.
You're a better man than me, bro. Because I'll be
that
in
was,
that big part.
that was an easy one for me to
because I know it's not real though. I know it's not real. It's like a part of
Go ahead, finish. I got a question.
A part of life is the experiences and not being able to control it. She's controlling the fact that it's going to be a happy ending no matter what for her because of the fact that she's a god in her own world. You know what I'm saying? Like she's able to control a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I like it. A part of life and a part of that is having the different consequences for your actions and having to go through it.
Character build.
So listen, I understand. I'm not saying you're wrong. So that leads me to some. I heard somebody a hot take, an anime hot take the other day, or it may have been today. The guy was like, Naruto was wrong for not allowing. Can't think of them for not allowing him to do the infinite Tsukiyomi. He was gonna get the Tsukiyomi was basically gonna make everybody's dream, your dream, whatever you wanted, be true. Everybody would be happy. Yeah, and in the end, Naruto was happy with how he got his family, wife, kid, all that stuff. He goes on to live a happy life. It's other people out there that are still dealing with ramifications from the war, stuff like that, like lost people, things of that nature. So, in the sense of this situation, basically, Mael was given, basically you had a choice between putting everybody in the infinite Tsukiyomi. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it just made me think of what you were saying. It made me think of that same statement the guy was saying about the hot take. And while I understand, so just get a little deep here. While I understand of dealing with life, dealing with reality, things of that nature, every day I wish that my mama could see my kids. If I had the opportunity to do that,
tag me in.
Or even if I could do it for a little bit, just for her to spend time with them boys, I would do that shit. Even if it ain't real, I would do that shit.
Because it every just means something to you.
Correct. Every day it's a fucking thought in my head. Like even if I could be having the best day in the world, and the fact that my mama don't get to see my Marcus, who look damn near exactly like me at his age, bruh, like I would do that shit. But that's just me.
Let me first preface my statement.
I have a shallower take too.
Let me preface my statement. I don't think anybody's answer to this video game's ending is wrong. So let me make that 1,000% clear.
No.
And that's what makes me straight.
I hope nobody on here think we that sensitive.
No. I'm just saying, like, I think both endings are valid endings.
Yeah.
Both of them are realistic takes on what people would do. I just like the fact that we're discussing it. All right.
Yeah.
First thing, I'm going to use that exact same analogy, Husky. So forgive me. I pray to God I don't step on any toes. And if I do, it is not intentional, brother.
I got you.
Let's say you have that painting where your mother is there and your child is outside neglected. They have not seen their father in years. Do you think the soul of your mother in that painting is going to be like, no, come embrace me? Or she's going to try and kick you out the painting to go be a dad?
She would kick me out the painting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the dichotomy here. Neither one, the longing to want to be with the loved one is not wrong.
Yeah.
The wanting to remain there is not wrong. But we easily forget with Mael is 14.
Yeah.
Mael's a dumb kid. Like I hate to say it that way. Mael's a dumb kid.
She's a teenager. You just say she's a teenager. That's plain and simple.
Running wild.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So she's going to choose
feeling
the less adult action, right?
Absolutely.
Clair is on the outside dealing with murderers, people that conspired to kill her family. You gonna leave Clair hanging out there? Your sister who is alive?
But in that same sense, how much help will real Mael be considering her condition?
All right, so I'm glad you said that. Now, this is why I was asking y'all how far y'all got in the game, right? What if I told you Mael is not a painter? Mael is a writer. Just like Verso was not a painter. Verso was into music. Their mother was shaping them into being these things. So there's this specific area where you first get to where the paintress is, and you're going to walk around and you're going to see shadows of the characters. They're not going to say a word. They're just going to be there, and it's up to you to determine what's going on. There's one instance where Verso is sitting with mom on a bench. Verso looks and talks to her. She scoffs, gets up, walks off. That's one. There's another instance where Clair, Mael, and Verso are standing painting, and mom is pacing between them, like judging, like she's instructing. If you go to that manor and you go to Verso's room, he has a piano in there. Verso was not into painting. The mom was forcing everyone to learn how to paint, to become painters. The writers saw how powerful she was. Mael realized that I couldn't live up to mom's standard because she was not mom's favorite, which we're going to get into in a second, which the mom is the villain in the story. And I got several things to hit on about that. Mael had learned to write. There is a certain note in the game where she's writing an apology letter, and the letter is written like poetry. And that's when it snapped. God damn it. That's why she struggled with painting when she fused and became her real self. She couldn't figure it out at first because she was never a painter, bro. She was a writer. That's how this whole situation started. She went to the writers to learn how to write. The writers were jealous that her family is a painting family. Caused a little situation, started a fire. Verso died. The story starts. So, bruh, it's I implore y'all to go back and find those notes. Also, once you do the notes, once you fight the final bosses and all that, the hidden bosses, go play New Game Plus. Play like the first hour and just listen to Mael talk. Mael is a dick, and she was talking about the gamage in the very beginning, just passively. It was like, damn, Sophia's about to be part of the gamage, right? Like, and Gustav is like, Mael, like, chill, like, yo. Now, why would she be like that? She would be like that if subconsciously she knew this wasn't real. Mael is a dick, dog. I'm sorry, I've been talking a lot, bro. But I got other stuff we can hit on too, bro.
I just want to say, you guys at the top are cocoon ass niggas because y'all just wanted to say in the Sumiyoki. So
hey,
that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, bro, I'm just saying, bro. Think about this too, bro. In a more shallow approach.
Yeah,
you fumbled that 10 out of 10 years ago. You have the opportunity to go back and replay that situation to perfect the play. Y'all niggas not doing that. And then to your point, sir, and if I remember how the paintings and stuff work, you don't have to stay in there that long like how Mael and the painters were staying. I think that's
you
part
can
of
leave and come back.
Yeah. I think that's part of Renoir's point. Like, hey, bitch, you need to come about this motherfucker because you finna die.
Yeah, and I can see that. And that's like if I just put myself in their shoes, had the power, I would use it more so like that. It wouldn't be As long as you know what I'm saying,
they were abusing the power.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they were causing harm to themselves. That's why Renoir was the only kind of sane one in that situation, because he knew that, like, to them it was almost like a drug where they couldn't come out of it. So he was gonna have to like destroy the painting, and he didn't want to have to do that. But his wife had stayed in it too long. His daughter was staying in it too long, and they were losing their faculties when it came to doing stuff. And so he's like, listen, if I knew that I could trust y'all with this, I wouldn't do this. But y'all are picking up right now. And he was like, and I can't trust y'all to come out. Yeah. And I need y'all here versus when I need y'all, you know what I mean? And it'd be cool. Yeah. Like you said, if it had something where it was moderation, I don't think this wouldn't even be a game.
You're right. It wouldn't be a problem.
Because the fact that they were so in depth in depression and they were so dependent on the portrait, he had, drastic measures had to be made.
Yeah. You know what? I don't disagree with you like that. And that's absolutely true. Like if they were, jumping in and jumping out from time to time, moderate, using the moderation, not spending hours, days, weeks, every time in the, and I completely agree with him, especially about the mom. You're dying. Like, you've been in here forever. And I get it. You lost a child. You want to hang on to that child. You want to be able to still see that child, experience them, talk to, and now that you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to come out. You know, this is the only place that you can find them that they are. You don't want to come out of this. And it ain't gonna work like that. Like, you gotta come out. Like I said, you're dying at this point. And I just, once again, I don't disagree or anything like that, but like I said, I do. I guess I would say Renoir could have went about it a different way, but nah, I think at that point in time he was fed up and he was just tired. Hey,
67 years.
Yeah. He was fed up. So
67 years.
That's fucking wild. He like, listen, I've been here forever. All right,
I've tried with you niggas.
Y'all bring your ass out
for 67 years.
Yeah.
And what did your mama did? She painted me to look like a creature where I had no mouth and I couldn't talk. And the only way I could, bro, let me tell y'all how dope this game is. Realize that when Mael met her father, Renoir, who was painted, the curator, all he did was like, I gotta train you. He wasn't saying it, he was just training her the whole time, right? What did you have to give the curator in order to upgrade your weapons? Chroma, right?
Yeah.
He was using that chroma to feed himself, to make himself more powerful, to try and snatch y'all ass out of there. Brilliant. It's the way they incorporate the story into like the mechanics of the game. You bring him chroma, he make you a little stronger. He sharpens your weapon, just like a father would, because I need you to be strong enough to take your mom out. Bruh, it's dog.
It's so much.
Dog.
So before we go any further, folks, this is going to be a 2-part episode. This is the end of the first episode. We'll be back next week with the rest of it. For y'all, it'll be next week. For us, it'll be a couple of minutes. But exactly. So
go ahead
and let you know.
Episode of Dragon Ball Z.
There you go. We're gonna be back, and then once again, it's still spoiler filled. So this is gonna be part 1. We're gonna be ending this now. So make sure y'all come back next week, same time, same Blurred Syndicate time, same Blurred Syndicate place. But as always, y'all be great. We out. Peace.
Happy Pride Month, bitches.
Yes.